Please stand and join William Frederick in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we've watched were so
Dedication will be given by the Reverend Carol McDonald of United Methodist Church of Platteville.
Let us pray to God as we understand God to be. Gracious God, we gather in a spirit of celebration. The excitement and joy of this day surround us. We have prepared many hours for this moment. Help us to remember that our accomplishments are not ours alone, but are shared by family, friends, teachers, and learners who have guided and supported us along our journey. This ceremony marks a beginning. Through what we do with our lives, may walls of misunderstanding be broken down, old prejudices destroyed, and new visions of a world emerge where power is shared and peace exists for all people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Please be seated. Faculty, students, parents and relatives, distinguished guests and friends of the university, I am delighted to welcome you to this, the 144th commencement of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. This year, we celebrate both the 151st anniversary of the founding of the Platteville Academy, the great-grandparent of today's University of Wisconsin-Platteville, and the 124th anniversary of the founding at Platteville of the first normal school in the state of Wisconsin. During these years, more than 29,000 students have received their degrees from us. This afternoon, more than 500 degrees will be conferred. We dedicate today's ceremony to the memory of Dr. Otto Carruthers and Dr. Andrew Rodez. Dr. Carruthers was professor and chairman of the Department of Mathematics at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. He was a distinguished teacher and scholar and an esteemed colleague. Dr. Rodez was a promising new member of our faculty, serving as an assistant professor of criminal justice. We also dedicate this ceremony to the memory of Barry Busher, who was a member of the class of 1990. Faculty, students, and staff join these families in grieving their loss. The senior valedictory will be delivered by Jennifer Sheppers, a summa cum laude graduate of the College of Engineering. Ms. Sheppers is the daughter of Gerald and Elvira Sheppers. She was born in Platteville shortly after her father became a member of our faculty and is an honors graduate of Platteville High School. She will today receive a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering with a minor in French. Among Ms. Sheppers' many honors and awards are membership in Phi Eta Sigma Honor Society and Tau Beta Delta Engineering Honor Society, of which she is Secretary-Treasurer. She has achieved Chancellor's Honors and the Dean's List. She spent a semester in France with a study abroad program. While a student at UW-Platteville, Ms. Sheppers worked summers as an engineering intern with a division of Honeywell Corporation in Freeport, Illinois, and during the school year at various times in the Math Science Center, the Mechanical Engineering Department, and the Fitness Center here on campus. She was a research assistant in mechanical engineering this spring. Ms. Sheppers' plans include completing a master's degree in mechanical engineering at the University of Minnesota and possibly pursuing a doctorate in engineering in order to teach that subject. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Jennifer Sheppers.
Thank you. Congratulations, fellow graduates. I'm very honored to stand before you today and to give a farewell address on your behalf. Since I'm here to represent you, I've listened very carefully to your comments on what you want in a speech. The most common request I've had was to keep it short. One student asked if I wouldn't mention his name, just put in a good word for him because he doesn't have a job yet. I wish I could give the speech that each and every one of you would like to hear, but that would be impossible. I only hope that what I have to say is relevant to you and to our families and friends as well. I think that you will all agree that with graduation comes a lot of free advice. There were times throughout the semester that I was thankful for the advice. I was glad to have someone to talk to. Professors, parents, my own peers. What a relief to know someone had made these kinds of decisions before. How good to see my friends coping with the uncertainties of their futures. I was grateful for the advice, but I began to feel overwhelmed. People expected great things from me, and I wasn't sure they were the same things that I wanted. Being an engineer, who would see success in the day-to-day tasks that I could perform? Success, it seemed, was to be much bigger, much more impressive, and much more lucrative than just being good at my job. Maybe I could do something extraordinary. Maybe I could come up with an incredible new material from which we would build automobiles. I'd make this material durable and absolutely rust-resistant. It would be so inexpensive and easy to work with that we would build our cars for half the price of Japanese cars. You would have a great car for a great low price. And I, of course, would be extremely wealthy and extremely famous. But would I be happy with that? The success I wanted was to make a change. Would a new carefree automobile change a whole lot in your life? What you would gain is a few less trips to the auto shop, a little extra money to spend elsewhere, and some of us graduates would gain the satisfaction of junking the cars we've been driving the past 4 years. But none of these changes seemed quite so earth-shattering as those I'd hoped I could bring about. Do you see why I was so overwhelmed? What difference could I really make in this world? I didn't see how I could make a difference at all. Finally, I looked around, and I saw the people who were making changes in my life. I didn't have to look very far. Sitting in class, I only had to look up to see the professor who assigned tough homework and made me stay up late and study and complain and learn. Knocking on an office door, I looked up again, and I saw the professor who had time to answer my questions, even after office hours. The University of Wisconsin at Platteville did not educate us. 342 individual professors educated us. Our education will have an impact on our lives. Those individuals had the chance to make a positive or a negative effect on our lives. Thus, those individuals had the opportunity to make a change. The advances that have been made in medicine in the past few decades have been extraordinary. Until 1968, a person diagnosed with leukemia was essentially facing a death sentence. Since then, thousands of successful bone marrow transplants have been performed on persons with blood-related diseases, giving them a chance at full recovery. Unfortunately, only 30% of those in need of bone marrow transplants have a relative with their same bone marrow type. The other 70% must rely on complete strangers for their chance to live. A search pool of 20,000 potential donors may be needed to find a single match in bone marrow types. It's absolutely amazing to me that all the bone marrow in a person may be destroyed and replaced with a mere 5% of someone else's, and that this small amount of bone marrow can slowly build a complete supply of healthy bone marrow for the patient. These are truly incredible advances in medicine, but without donors, not one life can be saved. There appear to be two important components to this success. One, the scientific discovery, and two, the individuals who are willing to donate. Your success may not be marked by wealth and fame, but rather it may go unnoticed as a part of a combined effort by many. So maybe you don't have to be president to have an impact on the world. Most changes, even changes that affect large masses of people, require the efforts of many individuals. If you are a woman in a traditionally male field, the government may be able to require companies to hire you, but the government cannot force your coworkers to respect you. That depends upon you. For it may be easy for you to sit back and perform at a level lower than you are capable of, ready to yell sexual discrimination at any signs of trouble. But by refusing to be the token woman on the job, by taking on challenges, you may change the attitudes of a few people you work with. You, as an individual, can gain respect, which may change the way the next woman on the job is viewed. What the government has given you is the opportunity to prove yourself. The government attempts to give us many opportunities, but it is up to us to make the laws result in changes. I'm not asking you to become a teacher, or to join the feminist movement, or even to donate bone marrow. My point is that you have the ability to make changes. Your life will affect someone else's, so make sure in your mind it is a positive effect. What I'm asking you to do is to act on what you believe and never to assume that you are powerless. Thank you. I'd like to wish my mother and Mrs. Barb Brennan a very happy birthday.
The Commencement Committee has selected Mr. John Cassas, founder and president of Second Wind, a personal development company, to deliver this year's commencement address. Mr. Cassas earned a bachelor's degree from the University of Cincinnati and played professional baseball for 3 years with the California Angels. He received a Master's of Divinity degree in Boston. Mr. Cassas has served as director of a youth counseling center and minister of a small church in Colorado. He directed special projects for World Relief, an organization involved in helping the hungry. Mr. Cassas is consultant for the U.S. Department of Justice and the National Academy of Corrections. He has founded and serves as president of Second Wind, a personal development company headquartered in Wheaton, Illinois. He addresses and motivates such diverse groups as teachers, students, business executives, healthcare practitioners, and the Chicago Bears. His approach is about goals, commitment, communication, self-esteem, positive attitudes, and getting a second win. Please join me in welcoming Mr. John Cassas.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. For many of you, you're happy to be here. I remember this day well at the University of Cincinnati when I graduated. I had crammed a 4-year program into 5.5 years. Some of you have done that too, haven't you? Hey, listen, I graduated in the half of the class that made the top half possible. Some of you are doing that too, aren't you? After graduation, I went on to play baseball with the California Angels. I wasn't a superstar. I didn't make a lot of headlines. We have dreams, we have aspirations, we're focused after graduation, but some things change. One day I faced Nolan Ryan in spring training for the California Angels. He wound up with a fastball and threw a fastball high and tight and hit me in the helmet, cracked my helmet, knocked me unconscious. I got up. I was all right. I wanted to continue playing. They said, no, go to the hospital. Make sure everything was all right. I had x-rays taken on my head. And the next day, the only headlines I ever received with the California Angels read, x-rays on Cassas's head reveal nothing. Sometimes our dreams do not turn out the way we want them to. Benton and Bowles did a study across the country. They tried to find out what qualities, what characteristics most people are attracted to. What are those characteristics that we most admire in other people? Now we're talking above and beyond knowledge and that which can be learned, that which makes us a success in society. And they found out the top 3 qualities came out to be warmth, honesty, and a sense of humor. Warmth, are we approachable in whatever endeavor and field we choose to go in? That basic approachability as individuals, as human beings. Honesty, can I trust you? Do you have integrity? And then a sense of humor. To me, it's the stamp of authenticity that says you're real. Being with the Chicago Bear football team for the past 7 years, doing a pregame inspirational talk, some interesting things have happened. Before one game, Coach Mike Dicka looked at a player, his rookie year, by the name of William Perry. And he said, Fridge, when I'm done talking, I want you to lead us in the Lord's Prayer and we take the field. Tradition with the Bears. He continued to talk, and sitting right next to me was Jim Mcmahon. You do remember Jim Mcmahon, don't you? Jim leaned over to me in only the way that Jim can do. He says, John, he says, look at William. The man doesn't know the Lord's Prayer. I said, Jim, relax. He'll do fine. He said, no, look, the big guy's sweating. He doesn't know the Lord's Prayer. I said, Jim, everybody does. He'll do fine. I'll bet you $20 he doesn't know the Lord's Prayer. I said, you're on, McMahon, $20. We're betting on the Lord's Prayer, if you can believe this. We get done betting. Dickie gets done talking. He looks right at William. He says, William, lead us in the Lord's Prayer, and it gets real quiet. And everybody bows, and William prays this prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep. Unbelievable. Meeting was over with. McMahon walked up to me, handed me a $20 bill, and goes, here, John, I didn't know he knew the Lord's Prayer, man. We had a lot of fun that year in 85 and 86, and we had won the Super Bowl. We had won the Super Bowl because there was great talent and great chemistry. When you take individuals who take all the knowledge and the degree that you have, and you take it into society, and you bring in those intangible ingredients like warmth, honesty, a sense of humor, like chemistry and character, oh, what a difference it makes. I think excellence of credentials are important. But I think more importantly, as you leave here and graduate, excellence of character is what ultimately determine your success in life. He's my best friend's son. He's 4 years old. He answers the phone like this. Hi, this is Jacob Hill. Can I help you? Beautiful little voice at 4, distinguished, poised. A man calls him one day, who's kind of caught up in his credentials. He's a minister. Here's how the conversation goes. Hi, this is Jacob. Can I help you? Yes, Jacob, this is Reverend Bucky. May I speak to your daddy, please? Jacob cups the phone, looks at Daddy, says, Daddy, you're not going to believe this, but I think Rubber Ducky is on the other line. I think all of us in this room would admit and testify that life has a way of humbling us if we can humble ourselves. It was the largest track meet in the history of track and field. It took place 8 months ago in Eugene, Oregon. It was the 7th annual Century Championship Games. You had to be 40 and above to participate. They started with the 100-meter run for men over 90. There were 2 contestants. First man was a 94-year-old man by the name of Wang Ching Chang. Right next to him was a 90-year-old man by the name of Herbert Kirk. And they lined up for the 100-meter run in their little baggy shorts. And 15,000 people in the stands began to chant and cheer them on. And when the gun sounded, they said that Wang got an early lead. And then here comes Kirk. And then Wang, and then Kirk, and Wang, and Kirk. Back and forth they're going, challenging each other. And it comes to the finish line, and Wang leaned forward just enough to nip Herbert Kirk at the finish line to win the 100-meter run. But the race wasn't over. Always wanted to be active his whole life. Herbert Kirk had to give up tennis at 88 years of age. Reason? He couldn't see the ball any longer. Well, Herbert couldn't see the finish line either. Didn't know where it was, so he just kept on running. Wang, being a fierce competitor, wasn't going to let him go, so he went after him. Back and forth they went around the track for 300 more meters before the officials stopped them, brought them back, arm in arm, to a standing ovation. I read that story and I said, that is it, isn't it? For those two men, it was never the completion of a 100-meter run. It was the challenge. It's been said that life is in the running, it's never in the arriving, and I like that statement. The process is not the completion of a degree, the completion of a graduate school degree, the completion of honors. It's the race. It's the process. It's the people that you've come to know and to love, and friends you'll never forget your entire life. It's the professors that have made a mark on your life that you'll never forget. It's the parents who worked hard along the way to make it through this. It's the process. It's always the race. It's never just the arriving. So in this race, if we can keep the kind of positive attitude that makes a difference, the warmth and honesty and a sense of humor, keep focused on our degrees and be ever so flexible to make changes along the way. I remember Charlie Paddock had won 2 gold medals. He was speaking to a large audience about believing in themselves, no matter what might happen in your life. When it was all finished, a young, skinny-legged black kid had come up to him and said, "Mr. Paddock, do you think I could become an Olympic champion like you someday?" And Charlie Paddock took the time and energy to look at him and say, "Son, if you just believe in your dreams, and regardless of what happens and what people say, go for it, you can do it." Kid went home, told his friends. 1936, now a man. He went to Germany and won 4 gold medals. He became the world's greatest athlete. His name was Jesse Owens. And Jesse Owens came back to this country in a parade as the greatest athlete, waving at all the audience. The people had lined the streets in Cleveland, Ohio to watch him. They had made a movie of Jesse Owens' story. Maybe some of you had seen the movie. There was actually footage of Jesse Owens on the back of that motorcade waving at the people in Cleveland, Ohio. Not the actor who played Jesse, but Jesse himself. But the movie cut off because what happened in reality that day, running alongside this motorcade, came a young person and said, "Mr. Owens, you think I could become an Olympic champion just like you someday?" Dawned on him the same question he had asked Charlie Paddock years before. He stopped the car and he said the very same words, "If you believe in yourself and your dreams and don't let anybody else hold you back, you can do it." 12 years later, that kid, now a man, in Wembley, England in 1948, lined up for the 100-meter run, and when the gun sounded, he broke the tape and won a gold medal. Not only did he win a gold medal, he broke Jesse Owens' own record in the 100-yard dash. His name was Harrison Bones Dillard. And I heard Jesse Owens and Harrison Bones Dillard, as I was sitting out there, say to all of us, that story is what they call free people who are truly free inside to free other people to become their very best. Well, sitting next to me right out there was a kid by the name of Dee. He was my friend. And Dee and I were so motivated, we ran home together, and Dee outran me. He was much faster. And Dee's goal was to be like Jesse Owens. That was his dream. In high school, he was good. He ran track just like Jesse. We went to college, University of Cincinnati, together. We spent a lot of time together. We were close friends. And he couldn't make the track team in college. Trying to be his friend and encourage him, he said, "Don't, John, that's okay. I have other dreams. I have other aspirations. I'll find them out." He said, "I'd like to sing, as a matter of fact." We graduated together. And for those of you in this room, it's a happy day and it's a sad day. It's happy because you're graduating. It's sad because you're going to miss some friends and people you'll never see again. Invested a lot of time in this place. I never saw Dee for 15 years of my life after we graduated. And I'm sitting home watching television, and there on the television screen, he is. And he was not singing, but he was living out a dream that took a different twist, a different reality. he was actually playing Jesse Owens in the Jesse Owens story. His name was Dorian Hayward. We have dreams, we have aspirations, and we leave this place, but sometime life turns us on different roads and different paths and different journeys. Ever be so flexible to move down those journeys and paths when they arrive. My father told me upon graduation this story. He was a self-made man. He only had a 10th grade education, became very successful in life in his company that he built up. It's an old story. It needs to be recycled for the 90s. Of a captain on a ship. On a battleship off in the distance at night, in the darkness of the sea, there was a light that appeared on the horizon. It looked like an oncoming ship, and so quickly the captain signaled, "Change your course 10 degrees north." You know how they signal light. And the light came back, signaling, "Change your course 10 degrees south." A little bit indignant, the captain signaled, "I'm a captain, change your course 10 degrees north." And the signal came back, "I'm a seaman, first class, change your course 10 degrees south." Furious, the captain signals, "I am a battleship, change your course 10 degrees north." And the signal comes back, "I am a lighthouse, change your course 10 degrees south." The point of the story is simply this. Some of us in life, we're like that. I'm not going to change my course 10 degrees for anybody. Life has a way of changing our courses, doing different things that we had planned. And if we can be that flexible enough to change our course. David Viscott once wrote, "If you cannot risk, you cannot grow. If you cannot grow, you cannot become your best." It's never the end of a degree or a 100-meter run. Education is ongoing. The learning process is a lifetime. It's risking, it's growing, it's becoming our best. Sadly enough, my father forgot the meaning to that story. At 57 years of age, he called me one night and said he had nothing to live for. A very successful man had lost a vision. The next day, my mother called me and told me he died in the middle of the night. A man that I respected and admired lost the vision to risk, to grow, to expand horizons, to try new things, regardless of our age. Life is in the running. It's never in the arriving. And in your running, I wish you much happiness, success. Keep that sense of humor. One of my goals today was to throw out some basic truths about life that we're all aware of, but it's never what we know. It's always what we do with what we know. So I close with this story. It's probably one of my favorite stories and has a wonderful truth. Back in the 60s, Arnold Palmer had not won a tournament for a long time. He was struggling. He started to approach the green on his shot, and somebody in the crowd, in the massive gallery, shouted out in a real positive way. Nobody knew who the person was. "Arnie, charge, you're holding back, that's your problem, charge." Well, Palmer didn't know who said it, but as he addressed the ball, it hit him. "Charge, that's my problem, I was too tentative." So he attacked the green with the next shot and laid it close to the pin. He sank it for a birdie. Goes to the next hole, starts to approach the green with a shot, and the same voice in the crowd shouts, "Arnie, charge, you can do it, believe it." And Palmer this time smiles at the person, doesn't know who it is, it's crazy, but I'm going to charge. Hits a great shot, close to the pin, sinks it for a bird. Same thing happens every hole. Palmer wins the tournament. He's at the victory stand, and the voice in the crowd shouts, "Arnie, way to go, Arnie. I knew you could do it, Arnie. I believed in you." And Palmer looks at the crowd and said, "Who said it?" "The voice." And up goes this little unpretentious hand, waving his hand. Palmer weaves his way through the crowd. Said, "Sir, I want to shake your hand. I want to thank you for being on my side. Your voice, I don't know, it just made a difference. Tell me the charge. If there's something I could do for you, please let me know." Man never shook his hand. But in a real positive way, he said, "Well, Arnie, there is something you could do for me. You're my hero. I always wanted to be like you. My name's Charlie Boswell. I'd love to play you around the golf, just you and I, one-on-one. I'm a championship golfer, Arnie, just like you. I'm an international champion, Arnie, for blind golfers. And suddenly it dawned on Palmer why the man never shook his hand. Charlie Boswell lost his eyes in a war when he dared to go back and save two people's life. He won the Congressional Medal of Honor, distinguished hero, took up golf after he lost his eyes. One of those turn of events in life's journey that changed him. He is something very special. And that day Palmer met him, and Arnie said, "I'd be honored to play you, Charlie Boswell." And Charlie looked at him and says, "Arnie, I'll play you on one condition. Show me respect by playing me for $1,000 a game. I want your best effort." And Palmer knew he was serious, and so he looked at him. He said, "Charlie Boswell, I'll play you for $1,000 a game. You're worth it, and I'll give you respect, and I'll give you my best effort. You're on, buddy. When do you want to play, Charlie?" And Charlie said, "Any night, Arnie, any night." Charlie Boswell lost his sight. Charlie Boswell never lost sight of what was most important. In your journey, in your run through life, that race, don't lose sight of the things that are most important. Thank you for honoring me today, addressing you. God bless all of you. Appreciate it.
Each year, the Faculty and Alumni Association of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville select for recognition alumni who have distinguished themselves and brought honor to the university by their achievements. Since our alumni include winners of the Nobel Prize and the Pulitzer Prize, members of the U.S. Congress, and presidents of major corporations, the choice is never an easy one. This year, we honor 4 of our distinguished alumni as examples for this year's graduating class and in recognition of the achievements and contributions to our society by all of the men and women who have received an education at this university. The complete biographies of the honorees can be found in your commencement program. I ask you at this time to reserve your applause until all have been recognized. Dr. Jerry Fry, specialist in animal science, class of 1970, College of Business, Industry, and Communication, with a degree in light building construction and psychology. Dr. Fry is the manager of animal science operations for Merck & Company, Incorporated in Rathway, New Jersey. Dr. Larry Lemansky, specialist in medical research, medical education, class of 1966, College of Arts and Sciences, with a degree in biology. Dr. Lemansky is professor and chair of the Department of Anatomy and Cell Biology at the State University of New York Health Science Center in Syracuse, and research professor for the Department of Biology at Syracuse University. Mr. Richard Dick Mulcahy, political leader, class of 1962, College of Education, with a degree in history. Mr. Mulcahy represents the 69th Legislative District in the Illinois General Assembly. Mr. Daniel Rutz, broadcast journalist, class of 1971, College of Business, Industry, and Communication, with a degree in radio and television broadcasting and speech. Mr. Rutz is medical news correspondent for cable news networks News for Medicine and co-anchor of Health Week. Our congratulations and appreciation to each of you for the accomplishments which have brought honors to you and to your alma mater. Each year, the UW-Platteville Foundation presents a Distinguished Service Award to someone whose support has made a difference in the quality of life at this university. The Foundation's 1990 Distinguished Service Award was presented earlier today to Margaret Barnes on behalf of her sister Mary. Mary Barnes became a catalog librarian at UWP in 1938. She served its students as a librarian and educator until her retirement in 1976. Her devotion went far beyond merely practicing a profession, however, as shown by her concern for the university, for students, and the Platteville community throughout the remaining years of her life. She was active in many civic and educational groups and strongly supported the Wisconsin Shakespeare Festival and our Center for the Arts. Ms. Barnes' legacy certainly includes the many students whom she guided and inspired and the outstanding library services she helped to establish on this campus. Her legacy also includes the largest gift ever made to the UW-Platteville Foundation. That $400,000 annuity will help support the Wisconsin Shakespeare Festival, the Center for the Arts, and the Wisconsin Room Archive in Carmen Library well into the 21st century. The resulting performances, exhibits, and collections, and the pleasure they will bring to thousands of people will be a fitting tribute to Mary Barnes and to all of the teachers who continue to create this university. Mr. John Krogman, Chairman of the Board of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, will now present the awards of alumni life memberships.
Thank you, Chancellor Schmerney. On behalf of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville Alumni Association, it is indeed my pleasure to congratulate you and your families on your graduation today. As part of that congratulations, I have been instructed by the Alumni Association Board of Directors to award each graduate here today a complimentary one-year membership in the UW-Platteville Alumni Association. It is our hope that 1 year from now, you will decide to permanently join the Alumni Association in our support of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. The UWP Alumni Association also traditionally recognizes several graduates for their outstanding academic and professional achievements by awarding each of them a life membership in the association. I would like to ask you to hold your applause while I introduce the 6 recipients. I would ask them to stand. These graduates, by the way, are unaware that they are about to receive this award. From Dorchester, Wisconsin, William Bohr. From Stoughton, Wisconsin, Jennifer Day. Don't be shy, please stand. From Hayward, Wisconsin, Sue Jalowitz. From Kenosha, Wisconsin, Daniel Mark Jansen. From Loganville, Wisconsin, Karen Stotts. From Highland, Wisconsin, Renee Webking. Congratulations to each of you.
We're extremely proud of all of our graduates, and very shortly we'll recognize each and every one of them. However, I would first like to take this opportunity to recognize a very special group of graduates who have distinguished themselves throughout their academic careers. These are the students who are graduating with academic honors, and they are designated with an asterisk in the commencement program and are wearing the gold honors braid. Will those individuals who have achieved highest honors and are graduating summa cum laude please rise and remain standing? These students have earned cumulative grade point averages from 3.75 to a perfect 4.0. Now, will those students who have achieved honors and are graduating magna cum laude please rise and remain standing? These students have earned a cumulative grade point averages from 3.5 to 3.74. Would you please join me in recognizing this very exceptional group of students? Please be seated. Now, will all candidates for the baccalaureate and master's degrees please stand? This is it. Mr. Chancellor, as Vice Chancellor, I certify that the candidates standing before you have completed the curricula prescribed by the university faculty for the degrees of Master of Science in Education or Agricultural Sciences or Industrial Technology, or the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, and are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Vice Chancellor that you have completed the requirements established by the university faculty for the various degrees, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree which you have earned, together with all of the rights, privileges, and perquisites attending thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated. Will the deans now present the degree recipients?
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Agriculture please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Agriculture and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Agriculture. Will the recipients please come forward?
James L. Anderson. Scott James Binversey. Linda K. Breaker. Randy L. Carnes. Tom L. Daly III. John W. Edgington. Charles A. Fisher. Todd William Fisher. Brian Keith Grimm. Kurt A. Hune. Julie M. Jentz. Kyle R. Johnson. Michael H. Knuth. Kent David Cohn. Lynn Elaine Krieger. Brian R. Kruger. Timothy John Lease. Jody Marie Leffelholtz. Wayne Henry Leffelholtz. Jonathan I. Lotz. Sherry Ann Merlot. John Allen Miller. Alan J. Mumm. Diana L. Nichols. Patrick M. Nolan. Jeffrey Paul Radel. Jimmy Allen Rich. David Allen Richmond. Brian Gordon Richter. Rebecca M. Roker. Gregory Frederick Siegenthaler. Paul Donald Simon. Michelle R. Steinmetz. Brian David Sturtz. Richard John Thompson. Robert Raymond Umland. Todd Wilmer Wedwick.
Congratulations to you, and please be seated.
Will the recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Arts and Sciences please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Arts and Sciences. Will the recipients please come forward?
Andrea M. Albrecht. Carolyn S. Anderson. Stephen Wayne Barnett. Claire Marie Baxter. Stephen Joseph Bell-Richard. Matthew G. Baina. Lisa J. Berg. Roxanne Erica Bassett. Barbara L. Bodenstein. Jennifer Jo Bethune. Julie Marie Boyd. Alan James Brandt. Carol Jean Breitsprecher. Eric K. Brinson. Thomas Patrick Carter. Judith Ann Kaufman. Jonathan O. Cavett. Erica Louise Collins. Janelle Lou Curtis. Mary E. Darrow. Stephen John DeBrew. Josephine Angela DePaulo. James Kenneth Dobson. Douglas Lee Drebeck. Heidi Sue Edwards. Dean Joseph Epping. Timothy M. Fallon. William Harold Fenrick. Sidney Mark Fletcher. Mark Allen Framness. Charles F. Gora. Sean Lauren Gertzenberger. Paul J. Gulecki. Paula J. Gergerich. Gretchen Ginther Hutchins. Sarah M. Harris. Douglas John Hendricks. Darren Albin Heenick. Susan Elizabeth Jalowitz. Daniel Mark Jansen. Joanne Marie Jindrick. James John Jennings. Gregory Joel. Nathan Mark Johnson. Sean N. Judnick. David P. Carls. David Russell Cook. Brenda K. Kunkel. Peter David Latham. Kip D. Lenth. Laura J. Lenzner. Cheryl R. Lindquist. Peter A. Lofi. Lisa Lee Luthane. Craig Michael McCauley. Duane James Malfi. Michael Paul Margan. Margaret Ellen Marty. Patrick Sean McGuigan. Deborah A. Mindham. John J. Nadelkoff. Candace Marie Nails. Lori K. Ettinger. Susan B. Oswald. Donna M. Pardun. Juliana Perez. Todd Gerard Peters. Matthew Paul Peterson. Peter D. Pierce. Keith Robert Peach Jr. Penny Lee Polzine. Evelyn E. Portman. Amber K. Price. Cynthia J. Purcell. Michael John Renier Jr. Diana J. Richter. Lisa Jo Ritzenthaler. Young Rowe. Jane Ann Rhodey. Deanna Joy Raleigh. Thomas Andrew Rowling. Julie Ann Rusalik. Earl Francis Ruckteschel. David Andrew Sable. Jeffrey S. Saylor. Sherilyn Ruth Schneider Stanley. Terry William Schrobilgan. Chrisanne Gail Schultz. Mark Anthony Schwingal. Lynn Marie Selman. Mark Duane Senegals. Lisa Marie Shea. Martin Edward Thomas Skiba. Luann Elaine Spillane. Stephen John Springer. Christopher Daniel Stombaugh. Urchna Sukwal. Gregory Paul Summers. James William Thomas. Michelle Marie Tudor. Curtis Stephen Udelhoven. Blaine M. Vesley. Philip B. Villapando. Christine K. Vascuel. Judith J. Wang. Dawn Therese Wiggy. Amy Williamson. Daniel Robert Winders. Mary Beth Witkowski. Christine M. Wonderland. David Van Zychek. Sharon Lynn Zeman.
Congratulations, and please be seated.
Will the recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, and Communication please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Business, Industry, and Communication, and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, and Communication. Will the recipients please come forward?
Renee Elise Wepking. John David Adam. Jody Lorraine Adams. Kate Beth Anderson. Linda Sue Allman. Stephen L. Babb. Felipe P. Bainye Blázquez. Elizabeth Ellen Baker Ginther. Paul Joseph Baker. Kurt Banfield. Paul Barrett. Sandra Blankenberg. Timothy Arvid Bogenhagen. Cynthia Baumkamp. Donna Jane Brandt. Stephen James Bruce. David Russell Burgett. Kelly Ann Chase. Todd John Cheverati. Jeffrey W. Clark. Stephen G. Cleary. Maureen Ann Cody. Linda R. Covert. Colleen Marie Crabb. Jeffrey William Crum. Joellen Curley. Tracy Lee Danby. Dennis John Deary. Lisa Ann Delabella. William F. Dollard. Andres Domek. Lori Ann Dressler. Rick J. Egan. Julie Ann Edecker. Brenda Gail Engelkey. Timothy John Engels. James T. Eartham. Roger P. Fager. Jackie Finken. Patrick John Finucane. Greg R. Fisher. Brian Robert Forston. Nancy L. Freimiller. Stephen A. First. Leslie D. Gahagan. Mary J. Ganshert. Andrew Carl Godfrey. Tara Nicole Gray. Philip A. Green. David Andrew Guzzi. Douglas John Guthrie. Mark Andrew Hansen. Renee A. Hardy. Richard J. Herrig. David Allen Harmon. Gary Andrew Hastings. Michael J. Haverland. Stephen M. Hickman. Stephen Vincent Hotaker. Janelle Ann Hughes. Joel Oliver Jacobson. Michelle L. Jensen. Richard J. Kirby. Betty Mae Knies Grammer. Lori D. Ladd. Timothy A. Lemke. Jeffrey Ronald Lenz. Amy Joan Liebert. David A. Lombardo. Lori Lee Luthane. Avery E. Manning. Robert J. Marquardt. Thomas G. Mathwig. Andrew Paul Malin. Mary Ann McComish. Michael John McCracken. Kathleen Ann McDonald. Timothy James McMillan. Scott Edward Meyer. Neil Eugene Michek. Mitch M. Milan. Christine L. Miller. Michelle Lee Miller. David W. Moore. Lori Ann Mueller. Kevin Michael Muschel. Gina Marie Nardine. Arthur William No. E. Shelley Ann Parsons. Curtis Robert Petroli. Sandra L. Pellick. Jeanette May Peters. Russell Evan Popple. Kurt Allen Preen. Roberta J. Pritchett. Mark Andrew Radler. Troy E. Redfern. Ronnie R. Ryder. Mary E. Reynolds. Dan Reeves. David John Ringen. Bonnie Louise Rash. Holly M. Rowland. Tony Lynn Ruckty. Carl E. Sandry. Mark Gerard Schapp. Amy Jo Scheitauer. Michelle M. Schober. Tammy Jo Schrader. Douglas Charles Schwab. Matthew J. Sevens. Stanley John Scheimek. Richard J. Shockley. John Thomas Schultz. Mark Allen Simmerling. Lisa Lynn Sittman. Timothy Patrick Scala. David Christopher Soper. Roberta J. Stoffaker. Richard Gerard Stegbauer. Rodney Leonard Strutz. Carl D. Swenson. Amy Marie Tesch. Jeffrey Harold Tischer. Renee L. Topper. Marshall Glenn Urbans. Chris S. Vance. Renee Beverly Wire. Andrew Park Wadeski. Justin T. Waddell. Linda E. Widener. Robert John Weinberg. Michael James Werning. Carrie Marie Wickman. Tammy Michelle Weigel. Michael A. Wild. Victor A. Williams. Lisa Ann Wilson. Scott G. Wright. Richard Glenn Young. Stephen G. Ziegler.
Congratulations, best wishes. I'll see you at homecoming. Be seated.
Will the recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Education please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Education and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Education. Will the recipients please come forward?
Judy L. Souls. Kurt David Angeli. Tammy R. Bartles. Annette D. Bird. Cynthia Jean Bush. Christopher Robert Cedar. Shirley Chandler. Eric Thomas Chia. Jennifer Christina Day. Jeffrey J. Dressler. Christine F. Esch. Robert Scott Farnsworth. Stephen Charles Fitzsimmons. Jennifer Ann Fleury. Lisa Marie Gertler. David Robert Gissing. Carrie Ann Hefty. Glenda Sue Hosley. Kristen Sue Huffland. Kristen K. Horn. Sandra Jean Kisting. Deborah Janet Klecker. Linda Jean Marks. Carol Ann Martin. Gail Ellen Matty. Keith A. May. Brad Emil Meixner. Heidi Marie Melby. Charlene Holden Meyer. Delina D. Millard. Joylyn Namath. Gail Ann Otte. Martha L. Peterson. Teresa Marie Puttkammer. Cynthia Reynolds Randall. John C. Redfern. Catherine L. Refue. Rhonda L. Reinecke. Jane Ann Rundy. Kathy Ann Rundy. Geneva Ellen Schwichtenberg. Go ahead. Deborah Mary Steinhoff. Erin Denise Stoffrigen. Robin Tenny Inyang. Elaine Marie Turnus. Doris Ullman. Christy Lynn Wiersma.
Congratulations to you. You may be seated.
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Engineering please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Engineering and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Engineering. Will the recipients please come forward?
Jennifer Elizabeth Sheppers. Michael Edward Mall. David Darrell Ansorgi. Bradley C. Baldridge. Arlen Kurt Bauman. Darwin D. Bear. Anne Marie Bender. Thomas Lane Bender II. Mark D. Burgett. Timothy J. Bissett. William Thomas Brennan. Stephen Edward Brogue. Stephen James Brueggemann. Mark Owen Brugink. Scott Lee Cervani. Anthony Adrian Chihak. Douglas J. Christensen. Daniel Edward Dittman. Nancy Lynn Ferry. Kent E. Fish. Mark Allen Fisher. Robert M. Fortelka. Stephen Joseph Fox. Russell Lee Frank. Michelle Marie Frida. Jeffrey J. Garside. Thomas Philip Gasper. Bruce Joseph Gom. Thomas Frank Gotick. Paul Charles Gustafson. Alan T. Hamada. Kevin Hamada. Daniel J. Heline. Wayne David Hendrickson. Scott A. Heinz. John Eric Hockel. Michael Richard Heineck. James Murray Ickstad. Terry John Kennecker. Christopher Aldrich Keenis. J. D. Clem. Stacy Lynn Clevin. James Wellington Colick. Timothy Scott Kuchenbecker. Bradley Allen Kolka. Lawrence Joseph Kundert. Jeffrey Ray Lawrence. Jonathan Paul Locke. Andrew B. Lucas. Laura Jean Lutsky. Daniel John Mack. Alan Adam Manthe. David James Martins. Jeffrey Paul Matthey. Jonathan N. Maxwell. Brian P. McCarty. Ralph Leon Meyer. Scott Christian Miller. Keith R. Moreau. Tina M. Nikolai. Stacy Irene Olson. Dean Thomas Oswald. Michael John Pascavis. Stacy Noel Pelkey. James Stephen Pelarski. Tracy Lee Reineking. James Jeffrey James Rich. Chol Yun Rowe. James P. Salvadelli. Jeffrey A. Schomburg. Todd Richard Schomburg. Timothy Richard Sells. Todd Alexander Shuderek. Mustafa John Siamoff. Bruce G. Sievers. Scott Charles Sievert. David Roger Skauge. Scott Donald Smith. Darren G. Stanky. Karen Marie Stotts. Thomas John Stieber. John J. Steiner. Craig Thomas Stemler. Ronald Douglas Stickley. James J. Stern. David Wayne Sutty. Boone K. Tan. Mengestab M. Tekle. William Arthur Tenwickle. Keith William Timer. Todd Michael Urban. Dwayne A. Vandermaus. Joel Michael Vandermeer. David James Waldenberger. Julie Ann Weller. Diane Violet Whitney. Tim Irwin Wolf. Kurt Douglas Wood. Thomas R. Zibble.
Congratulations to the new engineers in Wisconsin. Would you please be seated?
Will the recipients of the master's degree please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the School of Graduate Studies and representing the graduate faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degrees of Master of Science and of Master of Science in Education from the School of Graduate Studies. Will the recipients please come forward?
Joyce Ann Alt. Terry Lee Aston. Sandra Becker. Angela Belkin. David Martin Braun Yaricki. Denise K. Brown. Janice Valada Clark. Linnell K. Clary. Nola J. Contrucci. Michael William Curtis. Randy C. Ebright. Diane M. Edgett. Alton N. Fountain III. Susan Ederer Gill. Diane E. Goodman.
That's my son. You bet. I'd know that voice anywhere. Thank you.
Timothy Allen Heilman. Michelle T. Haugen. Anita L. Iverson. Richard H. Larson, Jr. Julie A. Lenhart. Carol Ann Lipey. Douglas J. MacArthur. Constance McIntyre. Stephen J. Obershaw. James Imene Mudiera Owiri. Gina M. Paulskill. Dorothy Victoria Peterson. John William Plemer. Christopher James Polzer. Ravi Prakash. Margaret E. Reese. Alida Florence Robertson. Jelaine Rochelle Rugsager. Stephen Richard Schaff.
Congratulations. Please be seated.
At the close of this academic year, 10 distinguished members of our faculty will be retiring after many years of dedicated and exemplary service to the students of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. On this most fitting occasion, we mark their retirement and express our appreciation for their contributions to this university. I ask each who is here to stand as I read his or her name and to remain standing, and I ask the audience to please reserve your applause until the end. Dr. Robert L. Campbell, Professor of Agricultural Industries in the College of Agriculture, retiring after 24 years of service to UW-Platteville. Don Faith, Assistant Professor of Political Science and Sociology in the College of Arts and Sciences, retired after 21 years of service to UW-Platteville. Dr. Charles Heidenreich, Professor of Agricultural Sciences in the College of Agriculture, retiring after 24 years of service to UW-Platteville. Dr. William F. Hoffman, Professor and Chair of the Department of Agricultural Sciences in the College of Agriculture, retiring after 26 years of service to UW-Platteville. Dr. William G. Melville, Professor of Teaching in the College of Education, retiring after 22 years of service to UW-Platteville. Dr. Edwin E. Moore, Professor of Teaching in the College of Education, retiring after 26 years of service to UW-Platteville. Tom L. Richards, Associate Professor of Music in the College of Arts and Sciences, retiring after 22 years of service to UW-Platteville. James M. Ross, Associate Professor of Fine Arts in the College of Arts and Sciences, retiring after 27 years of service to UW-Platteville. Dr. Vernon G. Vredenberg, Professor of Health and Physical Education in the College of Education, retiring after 29 years of service to UW-Platteville. Mrs. Marlis Williams, Assistant Professor of English in the College of Arts and Sciences and today's commencement marshal, retiring after 31 years of service to UW-Platteville. Mrs. Williams and gentlemen, I know I speak for all your colleagues and students in saying that we wish you every happiness in your retirement, and with the authority vested in me by the Regents and President of the University of Wisconsin system, I am very pleased to confer upon you, each of you, the status of emeritus. I ask your colleagues, students, and friends to join me in expressing our appreciation to you. This ceremony would not have been possible without the time and effort so generously given by the University Commencement Committee. The members of the committee are Clement Jeske, Brenda Kunkel, Bob Leith, Joanne Paul, Judith Paul, Michael Speltz, Fred Tufte, Jim Volaski, Marlis Williams, Joanne Wilson, and the chairman, Robert Velze. Professor Marlis Williams also served, as I said, as commencement marshal. The names of the graduates were ably read by Edward Deneen, University Registrar. Professor G. Daniel Fairchild and the UW-Platteville Wind Ensemble and lead singer William Frederick deserve our appreciation as well for the music which accompanies this ceremony. Will the members of the committee, Professor Williams, Mr. Deneen, Professor Fairchild, the members of the Wind Ensemble, and Mr. Frederick please stand and be recognized. As we say farewell to our graduates, I would like to give them the opportunity to recognize those who have guided them through 4, or in some cases more, years of college with gentle prodding and friendly assistance. Will the faculty please rise and be recognized by the graduates? There are yet others who have provided not only encouragement, moral support, and financial assistance, but care and love as well. Will the parents, grandparents, husbands or wives, children and grandchildren of the graduates please stand and be recognized? As an item of information for those who may not have the opportunity of participating, seeing commencement firsthand, or those who would like to see it all over again very soon, commencement will be broadcast on TV5 cable television at 7 and 11 p.m. this evening, as well as tomorrow evening. Now, would you please turn to the back page in your commencement program and stand and join William Frederick in singing the Alma Mater.
Alma Mater, grand and glorious, we shall ever be victorious. Loyal are we to dear Platteville, pioneers will be. We shall win her honor, praise be ever on her. shall falter evermore. Alma mater, grand and glorious, wrought by loyalty.
Let us pray. Go forth from this ceremony with hope and expectation. Keep the creative spirit alive, that you may continue to question and challenge as you gain knowledge and understanding. Go forth with God's blessing, and may your life be a channel to bring peace and justice to all. Amen.
Please remain seated until the faculty have left the gymnasium. The graduates will remain to greet their parents, relatives, and friends. Thank you. Good afternoon.